Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Manchester City had a really frustrating afternoon at St. Mary's as they drew the game 0-0 against Southampton, and that has hurt, that's like a massive blow to their Champions League qualification process. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, as I said, it was a really frustrating day for Manchester City. They really did not they were not really able to play the way that they would have wanted to. They had almost so much of the ball, but Southampton just really did not let them do anything with it. They barely created anything in that entirety of that game. I mean, I thought it was going to be quite an easy win for Manchester City, but Southampton, I mean, they are already relegated, and this is a thing, playing with relegated teams, that because they don't have anything to lose out, they just don't really care about anything else. So today I have to commend the manager, and I have to commend the Southampton players that they came with a plan and they stuck to it. The way that they defended Manchester City, the way that they were behind the ball, the entirety of that game, they did not even try to go out and try to score a goal against Manchester City. Their only plan was to frustrate the hell out of Manchester City, let them have the ball and basically tell them, come and try to score past us. And Manchester City, unfortunately, were not really able to do that for them. And I'm gonna say it. Southampton had a plan, they did their thing, but it was the onus was on Manchester City, right? They had to break them down, and they had to go ahead and try to score past them. But it's not like Manchester City played any good football. Okay, they had the majority of the ball. They had, as I said, I think 75-80% possession they had. But they really did not do anything. It's not like they created any special chances. They were, something spectacular came out of their possession. Nothing of that sort. Most of them were like half-hearted attempts that Manchester City created, and they really did not really threaten Ramsdale in goal. Even the free kicks that they were getting, most of them, like majority of the shots were from outside the box. So you cannot really, in a way, blame Southampton for that. You still have to go out and do your job. You need to break them. The difference of the difference of talent in the class of the players and everything is so evident between those two sides. And Manchester City was just not able to go ahead and break Southampton down. And after the game, Ruben Dias had made some comments that Southampton did not want to play football. They tried to frustrate us and whatnot. I mean, that was their plan. You cannot really expect a relegated side to come and have a go at you, even though they are the home stadium. Because if Southampton come out and play against Manchester City, of course they are going to get battered, right? There's no question about it. So Southampton, they stick to their guns. They stick to their strong position. They did what they could to get something out of this game, and they succeeded in that. Of course, you're not going to like it if you're a City fan. You're not going to like it if you're a City player. But that's how things work, and it's not just only you that they're going to do stuff like that. Any big team that goes to St. Mary's now, or who has gone to St. Mary's since they've relegated, or even before that, they have played like that. They don't want to be like Santa Claus to give out 3 points. Even though they are relegated, they still have sense of pride for their club and for the fans, and they're going to make sure that by the time until the end they're in the Premier League, they try to at least garner some points. So they are not in the history books for the wrong reasons. Manchester City, you could just see the frustration on the players. They had Haaland back, but he was not really. He was not really given any service, and you cannot really question Haaland today, because I said nothing was given to them to him to do something and to try to score a goal, because there was no service for him. I mean, Foden had such a bad game that he was substituted after the first half. That's how bad Phil Foden was today. Their midfield, like, they were just not really able to do anything. And the fact that you have players like Kevin De Bruyne in your side and all of that talent, and you're still not able to create anything against a side like Southampton, of course, it's a bad day at the office for Manchester City. That's basically that. Well, that's what it is. You cannot go out and start criticizing the other teams because they did not play the way that you wanted them to play. Again, as I said, and the thing is that it's not a big deal that they drawing to Southampton. It's not going to be a big deal on a normal situation. But now with how tight the qualification process for all for the Champions League is, that's why Manchester City fans and players are really pissed off about. They have dropped 2 massive points. If the things go right for the other 2 teams behind them, if Newcastle end up winning the game, if Chelsea end up winning the game, Manchester City could finish the weekend at 5th position on 65 points, and if Forest and Villa win their game as well, both of them are going to be just a couple of points behind them. Forest are going to be a point behind them, Villa are going to be 2 points behind them, and City and Newcastle are going to be above them. And if Arsenal somehow magically win their game, Arsenal are going to be above them as well. So it's now it's a massive moment. The last 2-3 games are so crucially important. Every single game, every single point matters to every club who's fighting for that for those championship places. We are going to have that Aston Villa versus Bournemouth game later on, and that game is not going to be easy for Villa as well, because Bournemouth themselves, they are fighting for European places as well. So it is going to be quite an interesting set of weekend, because most of the teams who are fighting for Champions League qualification are playing tomorrow. So it was a sort of a chance for Manchester City to win the game and put pressure not only on the teams behind them, but put pressure on Arsenal as well, because if they win that game, they go level on points with Arsenal. And then Arsenal are going to play Liverpool, so that's a big game for Arsenal as well. So now, because City have dropped, and let's say Newcastle and all of them still win, and if even after that Arsenal end up losing tomorrow's game, Arsenal are still going to be on the 2nd position, and the Liverpool game is the only tough one that Arsenal are going to face in the next couple of games. So Arsenal are going to be really happy about this result, that it has really helped them. So one draw is affecting so many teams. That is why the City fans were pissed. That is why the City players were angry about and frustrated about it. You could just see the the anger, the way when the game ended, the way that Guardiola went on meeting the manager, and the way that he was literally filming Pep Guardiola. So but as I said, it is what it is. That's your job to break the opposition down, and you were not really able to do it. And then the fact of the matter is, they were just really poor. Southampton on any other day, Manchester City were really up for it. They would have easily been able to break Manchester down, Southampton down, and easily destroy them as well. But they were really poor. You cannot take anything away from Southampton. They defended really well. Their formation, the way that they stayed behind the ball, they defended collectively. That was a great thing for them. They defended as a unit. But Manchester City were really poor. Even if you are having about 75% possession and you're still not really able to create anything substantial because of from that, it's not just the opposition fault, it is your fault as well. And it was just you just need to accept it, that it was a bad day at the office for you. So yeah, not a good day for Manchester City, a sort of a good day for Southampton, but the Champions League hopes of Manchester City have been dealt a huge blow. And that's it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of this performance, and do you in your opinion, now this is the question, after every single game the positions are going to change. So who do you think are going to be the 5 teams that are going to qualify for the Champions League this season? Let me know in the comment section below. I like the video, share it as well, click on the notification button, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.